Guys, how you doing? This is Manga etc. and I'm here today to bring you a review for One Piece manga chapter 809. So let's get right into it. So we start off where we left last chapter and we just learned some things about the Duke. The first thing that we find out is that how he knew Shanks, and before we can get into why and how he knows Shanks, he falls asleep. During this time we find out how things operate on Zao, and we find that they have two leaders. One operates during the one half of the day, the other operates during the other half of the day. And when it's not their time to be serving, they're basically sleeping. So we see that the Duke has fallen asleep, and we find out that like not just the Duke as well, it's like people who operate within the town, they're asleep during this time as well, and vice versa. You've got the townspeople who are asleep with the Duke, and then we've got the people of World Forest who are up with the other leader, who I'm just going to call Neko for short. After we find out those things, we go back to find out what happened when Jack bowled through. Jack was on the rampage and he was bowling through, so the attack was still continuing, and eventually the Duke gets involved. Now he, being the leader, he was there and he offered up the same deal as the other minks were doing beforehand, and that was to just allow Jack to search without the need of him destroying the village or the Zao or the island, whatever you want to call it. But as same as last chapter, Jack is not on that. He's on a rampage. He wants to just destroy. He's on this destructive path. So he attacks the Duke. Now the Duke is able to rush off this attack, and I'm like, yo, that gets me a little piece gas, because we know Jack is Kaido's right hand man. We know Kaido is strong, so we're assuming that Jack is strong. So for him to just brush off an attack from Jack, that was nice to see. But yeah, the chapter just goes on with the attack, and then it comes to the time where the Duke is not in charge anymore. So he orders his boys to fall back, and then in comes Neko. Now Neko is a cat, obviously. Neko means cat in Japanese. If you didn't know that, now you know. Yeah, but Neko Bosu, she's just a big cat, and it's not like he's not like the Duke. We see the Duke come through and he offered them a free search. Neko comes in and I'm assuming this is she, straight on the attack. Didn't offer no attack, no mercy, just straight in there, boom, attacking. And then Neko says to Jack, I've heard all the details. I don't know nothing about no samurai. And then just the rest of it. Basically, very different to the Duke, where the Duke is willing to show mercy, Neko is not on showing mercy and ready to attack. And that's probably how the next chapter is going to carry on. We'll see what Neko did while it was their time to be rolling through. So now I'm going to talk about something which I did not forget. Jack being worth 1 million berry. Now obviously this is the highest bounty to be told to us so far within the One Piece story, but you need to remember that bounty doesn't equal strength. Bounties are a symbolization of the threat level of the person that it is given to. So we know Jack is worth 1 billion berries, so just for that fact, it is still something to get gassed about, but not because of a symbolizer of his strength. It's more of to think about what did he do, or what is he capable of to be worth 1 billion berry. Now in order for me to have some sort of scale to go by to figure that out, because it could just be just about anything, I had to compare it to Luffy and /Law, because we all know I should say, that they're both worth 500 million berry. Not together, individually, they were 500 million berry. Now, I mean, I looked at what did Luffy and Law, what they did to be worth that much. Now, at the core of it, what they did to be worth that much was upset Kaido, was interrupt things for Kaido, and now Kaido is a Yonko, and there's 4 Yonko, and it's not been said if they equally own a quarter of the new world each. But that's just my assumption, and it's my assumption to go with the theory. Well, not theory, but of what I'm saying. So we know that Luffy upset a Yonko, and the Yonko can represent a quarter of the new world. So that is a quarter of a new world that Luffy upset. Now, Jack is worth 2 times as much. So I'm thinking that what Jack did or is capable of is upsetting half of the new world. So that's how I'm going by judging things by here. So for Jack to be able to upset a half of the new world, that is big. That is big because Luffy has upset a quarter of the new world, and that's basically being worth 1 billion berries. That's basically what is being said, is that Jack is capable of upsetting, or has upset, half of the new world. And it just leads me to think, if Jack is worth 1 billion berry, what is Dragon's worth when Dragon is the most wanted man on One Piece? And also, what was Goldie Rogers' bounty when he was about, was it? I reckon like them 2 bounties, Dragons now and Goldie Rogers, will probably be about the same if we ever do get to find out what their bounties were. I reckon they'll be roughly around the same margins. That being said, I just want to finish off on one note and then I'll call it a review. This whole bounty situation, I'm starting to get sick of it, because bounties for me is becoming like what power levels were for Dragon Ball Z. Obviously power levels were a big thing from the beginning of Dragon Ball Z to the end of the Namek saga, where Akira Toriyama just had to dead it because it was getting ridiculous. This is starting to become a thing for me in One Piece now, because it's just bounty after bounty. Everything was 300 million was like the top end in part 1, and we're into part 2 now, the new world. I'm already in the billions. We're 1 billion right now. So, and then the battles are just going to keep getting higher, and just the numbers are just starting to sound ridiculous to me. So I'm starting to get sick of bounties. But I do believe I've said everything I need to say for this review. So rating. I'm going to give this chapter a 3-star rating. Nothing really happened. We're just learning how things operate on Sao, and we got to see more of the flashback of what was happening. The most impressive thing for me was the fact that Neko just thought that he could just follow through and just be on the attack, and obviously we had to just brush off Jack's trunk. That was the most impressive thing for me, and finding out that Jack is worth 1 billion berries was nice to know. But get me, like I said before, bounty does not equal power. It's threat to the world. And yeah, that's it. Like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice weekend.